My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das. My Mother at 66 by Kamala Das. A poignant, autobiographical poem about aging, fear of loss, and the parent-child bond. Explores the poet's emotional response while traveling with her aging mother. About the poet. Kamala Das. Kamala Das, 1934 to 2009. One of India's most powerful and influential confessional poets. Born in Malabar, Kerala, into a literary family, her mother was a noted poet. Wrote in English and Malayalam, pen name, Madhavakati. Famous works include Summer in Calcutta, The Descendants, My Story, autobiography. Her writing is known for honesty and emotional intensity, portrayal of human relationships, especially between parents and children, exploration of identity, love, aging, and womanhood. She often wrote about personal experiences, making her poems relatable and intimate. My Mother at 66 is a fine example of her ability to express deep feelings using simple, vivid images. Poem explanation. Lines 1 to 6. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother, beside me doze, open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. Explanation. The poet is traveling from her parents' home to the airport in Cochin. Her mother is sitting beside her and has dozed off. The mother's open mouth and ashen, pale, face shock the poet. The pale face reminds her of a corpse, symbolizing old age, weakness, and approaching death. Here the poet suddenly realizes with pain that her mother is truly growing old. This moment triggers her fear of losing her mother, a fear she has felt since childhood. Key ideas. Aging becomes visible in physical appearance. The poet's love and concern for her mother intensify her emotional response. Lines 6 to 12. And realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. Explanation. The poet tries to push away her painful thought about her mother's aging. She looks outside the car window to distract herself. The young trees appearing to sprint symbolize vigor, youth, movement, and life. A stark contrast to her mother's still, aging body. Children spilling out of their homes stand for joy, energy, hope, and the beginning of life. These images show a contrast between youth and old age, reinforcing the poet's sadness. Key ideas. Use of contrast as a poetic device. Youth equals life and movement, old age equals stillness and decline. The poet's emotional escape through nature and external images. Lines 12 to 17. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, van, pale as a late winter's moon. Explanation. After completing the security check at the airport, the poet looks at her mother again from a short distance. The mother now appears even more pale, colorless, and weak. She is compared to the late winter's moon, which is dim, faded, lacking brightness, symbolic of aging, fragility, and the weakening of life's glow. This image strengthens the poet's fear that her mother is nearing the end of her life. Key ideas. Simile, mother compared to the late winter's moon. The physical distance increases emotional intensity. The poet sees aging as inevitable and irreversible. Lines 17 to 23. And felt that old, familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. Explanation. Seeing her mother's frailty brings back the poet's childhood's fear. The fear of losing her mother. This fear is deep-rooted, showing how strong their bond is. Despite the turmoil inside, the poet does not express her sadness. Instead, she says calm, reassuring words, "See you soon, Amma." Gives a repeated, forced smile. The repetition of smile and smile and smile shows the poet's inner struggle to hide her pain, her attempt to be strong for her mother, her desire to convey hope rather than fear. Key ideas. Repetition for emotional emphasis. The poet's internal conflict, love versus fear, reassurance versus sadness. The poem ends on a bittersweet note, hope mixed with helplessness. Major literary devices of the poem My Mother at 6 to 6. One. Simile. Comparing two things using like or as. Examples. Her face ashen like that of a corpse. Shows the mother's weakness and resemblance to death. As a late winter's moon. Highlights her pale, faded appearance. 2. Imagery. The poet creates vivid images appealing to the senses. Examples. Young trees sprinting, visual image of fast, lively movement. Merry children spilling out of their homes, image of joy and energy. Van, pale as a late winter's moon, visual image of frailty. Effect. Helps contrast youth versus aging, life versus decline. 3. Personification. Giving human qualities to non-human things. Example. Trees sprinting. Trees cannot run, the speeding car makes them appear to move. Symbolizes the fast pace of life. 4. Metaphor. Indirect comparison without using like or as. Example. Her face ashen. Although used within a simile, the image metaphorically suggests death-like fragility. 5. Repetition. Repeating words for emphasis. Example. Smile and smile and smile. Shows the poet's effort to hide her fear and appear reassuring. 6. Contrast. Opposing images placed together to highlight differences. Examples. Mother's aging, pale, van, like a corpse. Outside world, young trees, merry children, movement. Effect. Deepens the emotional impact by showing two extremes, vigor versus decline. 7. Symbolism. Objects or images represent deeper meanings. Examples. Young trees or children, youth, life, energy. Late winter's moon, old age, loss of vitality. Pale face, mortality, fading life. Poetic style and structure of the poem My Mother at 6 to 6. 1. Single sentence structure. The entire poem is written as one long sentence, broken only by commas. This reflects the poet's continuous flow of thoughts, her uncontrollable emotions, a seamless movement from observation to fear to reassurance. It mirrors the journey itself, smooth, uninterrupted, yet emotionally heavy. 2. Free verse. No rhyme scheme, no fixed meter. Reflects natural speech and honest expression. Allows emotions to flow freely without structural restrictions. 3. Conversational tone. The poem reads like a personal confession or diary entry. Simple language, powerful emotions. 4. Imagistic style. The poet uses images instead of long explanations. Corpse, sprinting trees, merry children, late winter's moon. These images convey emotions more clearly than words could. 5. Autobiographical elements. Kamala often wrote from personal experience. The poem reflects her real-life journey and real emotional fear. Major themes of the poem My Mother at 66. 1. Aging and mortality. The central theme of the poem. The poet realizes her mother is 66, old, weak, and nearing the end of life. Her pale face, dozing posture, and comparison to a corpse and winter's moon symbolize aging. Examples from poem. Her face ashen like that of a corpse. Van, pale as a late winter's moon. Meaning, aging is natural and unavoidable. Seeing loved ones grow old is emotionally painful. 2. Mother-daughter bond. The poem highlights a deep emotional connection between the poet and her mother. The daughter feels protective, loving, but also fearful of losing her mother. Her forced smile hides her inner grief. Examples. My childhood's fear of separation from mother. See you soon, Amma, a tender, reassuring expression. Meaning, strong relationships come with strong emotions, especially fear of loss. Three. Contrast between youth and old age. The poet uses contrasting images to show the difference between vitality and frailty. This contrast deepens her fear and emotional conflict. Examples. Mother, pale, still, dozing. Outside world, lively children, sprinting trees. Meaning, life is cyclical. Youth is full of energy, old age brings stillness. 4. Fear of separation. A recurring emotional theme. The poet's childhood's fear shows how long she has feared losing her mother. Even as an adult, the fear returns with the same intensity. Examples. Felt that old familiar ache. Repetition of smile hides her worry and helplessness. 5. Hope and reassurance. Despite her pain, the poet chooses to offer hope. Her words "see you soon, Amma" show optimism, love, and an attempt to stay strong. Meaning, in difficult moments, we often hide our fears and offer comfort to loved ones. Moral of My Mother at 66. Love your parents deeply while they are still with you. Aging is natural, and parents grow weaker with time. Spend meaningful time with them, because moments are limited. Understand and accept the cycle of life, youth to old age, strength to fragility. Express care and reassurance, even when facing difficult emotions like fear or sadness. The poem teaches us the value of emotional strength. The poet hides her fear so her mother won't worry. Sometimes love means protecting others from our own pain. In essence, the poem reminds us to cherish and care for our aging parents with love, patience, and understanding. Message of the poem. Aging and death are unavoidable, but the bond between parents and children remains strong and emotional. The poet shows that even though we cannot stop time, we can offer love, hope, and comfort to those we care about. The poem encourages readers to recognize the emotional struggles behind aging, accept life's truths with maturity, Balance inner fear with outward strength. Life moves fast, trees sprinting. We must appreciate our loved ones before moments pass. Separation hurts, but love gives courage. Hope is powerful, the poet's smile and the words "see you soon" show the strength to face difficult realities. The poem delivers a touching message about love, loss, and the emotional reality of watching parents grow old. My Mother at 66 is a deeply emotional, autobiographical poem that captures the universal fear of losing a parent. Through simple yet powerful images, Kamala highlights two opposing forces: aging and fragility, mother's pale face, corpse-like appearance; life and youth, sprinting trees, merry children. The poem shows the poet's inner conflict: pain and fear inside, calmness and reassurance outside. The ending with repeated smile and smile and smile beautifully expresses the struggle between hopelessness versus hope, fear versus strength. Ultimately, the poem teaches us that love sometimes means hiding one's pain. Aging is inevitable. Acceptance, compassion, and emotional courage are essential in family relationships.